Welcome everyone. I am here today with Ken and Lesley Donaldson. They're from ITR Polygraph. They'll tell you about themselves, and they have this great new setup where we're going to be doing a lot of filming and everything. Okay, I'm Sandra Alexcae. I'm from GameChanger and from my personal muse. So I'm going to show you here today. We are here with GameChanger. Okay, this is the new relationship book. It's all about self-discovery. And it was 1 year ago today. Actually, Lesley was on book tour with me. Okay?
She invited me, which is wonderful.
I know. And we had so much fun.
Yes,
okay?
It was great.
So today what I've asked Ken and Lesley to do, it's been a year. Ken and Lesley will tell you who they are, how they actually endorsed the book, what they did for an endorsement. They're going to tell you a little bit about themselves. And then I have a few questions because now it's been just over a year. Okay? So Lesley and Ken Donaldson, one of you want to talk about who you are, what you do, that type of thing?
Well, before I will always just jump in here because actually, first off, I want to just say congratulations to you, Sandy. Okay?
Thank you.
And thank you very much for having us on and want to interview us and about our relationship, but first and foremost to even be asked to endorse the book when we did that.
Right.
That was a real honor, and I thank you so much and congratulations because in a year you've changed a lot of lives. You know, I personally speak about your book all the time. I offer it to many people, and I'll continue all the time. It's a great book.
Perfect.
So congratulations to you, Sandy. Thank you.
And I'll tell you why I chose them. Because Ken and Lesley, which Ken will talk to you about, they have ITR Polygraph. And so we have a tremendous amount of divorces and breakdowns in relationships and everything. So they've seen it all. So I wanted them to take the book and then look at it from their point of view as their personal relationship, which they'll talk about, and the people that they work about. So Ken, if you want to tell us about your business.
Sure. Well, Lesley and I, we've been married for 26 years. We've been together for 30 years, and we own and operate ITR Polygraph Service in St. Albert, Alberta. We're a national company. We travel everywhere to work, and we deal with a lot of different issues. So we deal with criminal issues. We deal with a lot of personal issues, family issues, addiction issues, those sort of things. And we deal with people in relationship a lot in our business. So last year, or just before, Sandy asked us to read the book. She said, I want to know what you guys think about this book. So Lesley and I took it on vacation. We went to California. I think, what did we do, a chapter a day, Lesley?
Pretty much. And, you know, if your partner doesn't want to read it to him. So we read it together every day. Yep,
and we did the exercises, and it was fantastic. We really enjoyed the book, and you know what? It wasn't a big commitment. Didn't take a lot of time. Maybe took a little bit of thought and maybe some changing of some perspectives. But you know what? I think that's always great in a relationship.
Okay. It was a real retreat, actually, with your partner to be able to do that and talk about a lot of tough stuff. You know, we've been together. I've been with Ken since I was 19 years old. That's a long time. And 4 children, a set of twins, 2 grandbabies now. And we've worked together every year of that except for 1 year of marriage. Our very first year of marriage, we didn't work together. Aside from that, we have lived and worked together, and I've really appreciated being Ken's partner and helping him.
Right. So Ken, can you tell me about ITR, what kind of work you do with couples and that type of thing?
Sure. Well, we're a polygraph company, so I'm the lie detective. Lesley and I wrote a TV show. It's called The Lie Detective. It's on our website and it's on our YouTube channel. You can look it up, have a look at that. But it's a real good look at kind of what we do. We take issues that people have in, let's say, their relationships, and we help boil them down to a couple, 3 questions. So people come to us with sometimes a long list of questions, or they have suspicions about their partner because maybe something had happened in the past,
right, yeah.
Maybe something had happened in a previous relationship, and now they're trying to see that pattern of behavior with their new partner, and they seem to think that old behaviors from their old partner are now apparent in their new partner. Well, sometimes it is true, but many times it isn't. Many times it's the perception of the person who walks in the room and sees someone put down their phone really quickly because they want to give attention to their partner.
Great example.
And the partner thinks, well, why'd you put your phone down? What were you doing on the phone? Are you hiding something from me? Did you just delete something off your phone?
Yeah.
So, sadly, these days people distrust their partners, I think, because they really didn't get to know them very well before they jumped into that relationship.
Okay, and I
Correct.
think that's perfect because Game Changer itself started off, the first chapter is all about self-discovery, okay? And then you go on from there, and so it can be for new couples just getting together, for couples like Ken and Lesley that have been together for a long time, okay? And everything is changing.
Yeah.
The divorce rates, the parentalienation, which Lesley will have some, we're going to be doing some other personal videos on it.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so today I've brought them here because I have a few questions I wanted to ask them personally.
Thank you.
Okay?
All right.
Great.
So the first thing is you've introduced yourself. How many years have you been married again, Lesley?
Since I was 19, so I'm now 50. I mean, not that we've been married all that time, but I met Ken when I was 19. And in fact, when I went, I told my mom I'm moving to BC to meet Tall, Dark, and Handsome, and I did.
It's 27 years.
Very good. So
I could go on.
right, so we can see here the difference in personalities.
Maybe just
okay?
a little.
Just
Okay,
a little
maybe
bit.
A little
So
bit.
Lesley can be very expressive, creative, whatever, and Ken tends to be more logical and
Okay.
very expressive. I'm just saying that, just for the
Well,
fun.
because you've known me for
Exactly.
Actually, Sandra's known me since I was 15.
Right.
So,
and I've
you can
seen all
say
sides
you
of
can
her.
say whatever you like.
I've seen all sides of her. Her and my daughter were best friends.
And-
so we've seen them through
And
that.
still are.
And still are.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question, not simply because of your personal relationships, it's going to go there, but because of the years that you have worked with couples
Right.
and have seen the different challenges, okay, like betrayal and other things that we'll talk about.
100%.
But could you give me some wisdom to be able to share with people that are in relationship?
Go ahead, Ken.
Well, I mean, the first thing is it's a give and take. Relationships are give and take. Sometimes you're going to give more than you're going to take. Sometimes you're going to take more from your partner than you're going to give. Life is up and down. We're not always on top of the mountain. Some days we're down in the valley and your partner's going to pull you out of that valley, or you're going to pull your partner up. It's all about it. It's a partnership. You need to know who your partner is, you know. People, I think these days are just too quick to jump into things. I think we need to think things through, and you know what? I always say, good information, you're going to make a good decision.
Perfect. And what that I want to get back to something because the Game Changer says how to love with your head instead of your heart, okay? And the reason that was done is because when you meet someone, there's a lot of dopamine in the brain, okay? And so that becomes a lot of emotionalism.
Yeah.
And then we get into the sexuality and that
Yeah.
type of thing. So sometimes the logic is lost. So it's to find the balance in the head, the heart, the left and right brain, and the logic of it, and to take your time. And that's why the first chapter has 8 areas of interactive exercises that you
That's
have to
great.
go through. And you can actually see it because there's a synopsis of the different chapters. So I think that's perfect, and it's taking the time. But everybody seems to want a quick fix now. So it becomes Valentine's Day. Well, I've got to find a Valentine.
Yeah.
Or I'm breaking up, and so, oh my God, I can't
It's
be alone.
Christmas. I need somebody to spend the holidays with.
Right.
You know, anything. Yeah.
It's like that, and some people are afraid to be alone. which
Yeah.
sometimes
Come on,
they need
Sandy,
to.
what was the old saying? You need to find Mr. Right, not Mr. Right now.
I never heard that. That's perfect, Ken.
Yeah,
I
that's
honestly never
an
did hear
old
that.
saying.
Actually, you know what? We raised our children to say this, that you date to mate, or date to
Find a mate.
find a mate, not just date to date.
Right.
You date to find a mate
With a purpose.
for your life,
For a purpose. So it's
not just date to date.
No, actually, in the book, I did a lot of research, and there's a lot of like one-night stands
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people that are afraid to get into relationships. They don't want to be vulnerable, and so we have a huge issue around relationships.
Yes.
Well, Sandy, I think that takes you right back to the first chapter.
That's right.
They're afraid of being themselves in a relationship, so they have these personas for their one night stand, and then it's off to the next and off to the next, and they're not real with the people that they're with.
Well, here's the thing, they can say all kinds of things on texting, and taking photos and putting all that up, but then when you actually sit there and meet the person, now what are you going to say? Because you've said a lot already.
Right. And you're not sure what you've said.
You've shown a lot already too.
And is it the real you, or who is it, you know?
Who's there?
Yeah.
Who's
but
it? That's a good one.
my answer to that question, your original question though, Sandy, is this, and we talk about this a lot in our house, is that one of the ways Ken and I would be together still to this day is because I understand that I need to say sorry and humble myself. And I don't see a lot of people wanting to say sorry.
And that's a two-way street too.
It is. We try actually to say, I'm sorry, and he says it at the same time, but really, if he doesn't say it, he doesn't say it. I just need to be able to say it and move on, you know?
Because it's not about you at that point.
Yeah. Don't go to bed angry. Don't let that root of anger really take place.
Right. But that's it.
He's my partner, not my enemy.
But you know, I think one of the interesting things is that when we were writing the book, that I found a lot of people, because of not being authentic. Okay,
Yes.
so it's like I'm going to play the role.
Yeah.
Okay, but when you're authentic, and this to me is really important.
Yeah.
Okay, is I have anger, I have sadness, I have happiness, and we have learned to suppress that, to always be on, you know, fake it till you make it, I gotta do this kind of thing, I have to be positive. However, that's a lot of suppressed feelings, and so you need to be able to acknowledge them. So if you're working with a partner and that partner will say, you make me so mad, for me I always say, just stop.
Yeah.
I don't make you mad.
Yeah.
I might have triggered something in you. Can we talk about that? Okay?
Absolutely.
And we'll have more on that.
And sure, and it's vulnerability. People are afraid to be vulnerable, but without being vulnerable to your partner, do you really have true intimacy?
Sure.
No.
And here's the thing, our relationship has taken time to cultivate. We've grown up with each other. We've never done tomorrow together. You know, everything is new every day. I've never done it before. And so he's our partner going through this whole life of 30 years. And, you know, it's quite the journey.
Well, I think that's really an interesting point, because right now we have people that are on their second and third marriage, and I have a girlfriend that's actually just been married for the 10th time, and in between that she's probably had 15 other engagements.
Right.
So it's a different society.
It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
right now.
But people are waking up. I've had clients
Thank
too,
you,
Sandy.
waking
I've had
up.
clients, Sandy, too, who are on their third or fourth marriage or relationship, who look at me and say, if I had worked this hard on my first relationship, I'd be a happier person.
Absolutely perfect.
Exactly.
You know what? In there, and we talked about it before we did this video, and I had said it, if you nurture the grass instead of looking for greener grass.
That's right.
And we can do a whole one on that sometime, Lesley.
Yeah,
okay,
for
because
sure.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
So the next one is, what advice would you give individuals that are wanting a relationship, that are looking at, maybe they should get Game Changer?
100%.
Good idea.
100%.
Right.
Start there.
But too, I mean, figure out what you want. You know, I think too many people, and I've said this to you before, go on all these dates with all these people, and all they find out is what they don't like. They don't know what they do like, but they know a lot of what they don't like. So I think you need to find in yourself, what am I looking for? What am I looking for in a partner, or someone that I want to spend my time with, or you know what, have the ups and downs and share things in my life with? What do I want from that person?
So do you think if you find out enough of the what you don't want, that will help clarify what you do want?
Well, here's the thing. You know, one of my very dear friends, Mrs. Pat, I lovingly call her, but you know, she wrote down what she wanted, and she didn't settle.
Right.
Till the age of 50, she married her best friend, Mr. Pat, and I'll tell you, he's every tick of the box. You know why? And she waited for that.
Oh, she
Otherwise, she might have had to take tick off a different box. Oh, well, I can take this guy, but he's not all the boxes.
Right.
She waited.
Okay.
And she waited until she
So-
found the right one
Right.
that really ticked off all the boxes, and she found her soulmate.
Right. So she waited,
Don't settle.
and in the don't settle.
Don't
but in
settle.
the meantime, Lesley, she went on with her life.
Yes.
Obviously, she had
Yes.
a career and took care
Looking
of
for
herself.
Mr. Wonderful, Mr. Right, who was going to fulfill what she needed in her life. Not, how can I fix you?
It's not about fixing
No.
her or being fixed.
Or being fixed. She
Okay.
found a match.
Okay.
A match.
So my next question, because of course you can see that we can be very expressive.
Maybe
so,
a little.
So what I did was kind of really define certain questions so we would stay on track.
Okay,
I'm
I'll
looking-
try and stay with the
No,
program.
that's good. Leslie. So I just got to make sure that I get this last one right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like the difference in times with regards to loving, monogamous, sustainable relationships. What do you see the difference in times from, say, your parents, people my age, than people that are maybe 15, 20 years a little bit older than you guys
Yeah,
and what you are? So we have different kind of generational.
yeah, we do.
What's the difference now?
You go ahead.
I don't know.
What would you say?
I think my parents' generation, they graduated high school, they went on to university, they found a mate for life, and they stuck with their partner. They worked through things.
Right.
Yeah,
I think they worked through their problems. Things weren't disposable. If you know
That's
what,
it.
if we had a problem with something, we fixed or repaired it. We didn't throw it out and go buy another one. We'd fix or repair. So I think that's the attitude they had with their relationships. I think nowadays, I say this to Lesley, I go, when I graduated high school, in the crowd of people or my graduating class, there was a couple children, families of divorce. Okay, maybe 3 or 4 in my graduating
Yeah.
class. When I go to my youngest daughter's graduation 2 years ago, my wife and I, still married for 20 some years together, were the rarity in the crowd. So there's a real difference
Everything has
in
changed.
the length of relationships that people are in now. People
Yeah.
seem to have more relationships in their life and change partners several times during their life. And I really don't understand why. I don't think that, it's, life,
There's no
like I said before.
compromise,
Yes.
there's no forgiveness, there's no trust, there's jealousy, there's the internet in our office. Ken, would you not agree? It is constantly, who are you talking to, who's texting you, who liked what'd you do, where were you, tracking people, all kinds
Okay.
of stuff.
But there is. I mean, I think you need to be accountable to your partner.
1,000%.
I'm not going to lie to my wife about where I go.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie to
Yes.
her about who
you
I'm
have nothing
associated
to
with.
hide,
If
hide
I'm going for
nothing.
lunch with a
You're-
couple friends, I tell her. I invite her.
Yes,
Perfect.
exactly.
So there's two things. First and foremost, I personally don't believe in the word compromise. Okay,
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe in the word negotiate.
Sure.
I'm going to negotiate. That's just a thing of mine.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a matter of semantics. The next thing is when people are trying to find out what their partner is doing and everything, and this
Yeah.
just recently came up.
Yeah.
It's just like, Lesley, is Ken your man, or do you introduce, this is Ken, my husband?
In fact, when my phone rings, it says, my handsome husband.
Right.
He's not my property, he's not my man.
Right.
But he is absolutely my husband.
Yes, he is your husband.
Yes.
But if I'm going to introduce somebody, if I'm with them,
Yeah.
okay, I'm
Yeah.
not going to say, well, this is my dear friend.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, this is Lesley.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
she's my friend. This is
Yeah.
Ken.
Yeah.
And this was brought up that a lot of times,
Yeah.
because I'm continually doing self-discovery work.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it's like nobody is anybody's property. And I
Yeah.
can remember when I was working at a school, because I was a high school teacher, and the gal that was she was a technician. I felt equal to me, even though I had a B.Ed degree. And her husband introduced her and said, "This is my wife's boss." I said, "Number one, I am not your wife's boss. The school board is. Number one. So let's get that clear. And number two, okay, this is Jody.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Jody,
Yeah.
and this is
We have
Jody, my
names.
wife,
Yeah.
and this is Sandra Alexcae.
Yeah.
So I just want to clear that
Yes.
up.
People's names are very important, and to be known as somebody's husband or wife is a sign of massive recognition. Really, I love
Well-
I love the title.
Yeah, but for me, what it is I'm honoring
Yeah.
your essence.
Yeah.
I honor the essence. It's
Yeah.
like, this is my kid. No,
No.
this is Mary or Sarah or whatever. They have, and the bottom line is,
Yeah.
they understand that they're not just a kid.
That's
So
right.
we are honoring the presence of that person. Okay, so let's wrap this up, and I hope that you've enjoyed it, and we're going to be having
Thank
a lot
you.
more of these, and thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
And any last words for anybody?
You go.
No, I'm good. You know what? I think just be honest with yourself. Be honest about what you want, what you're looking for, and if you're honest and authentic, I hope you find what you're looking for.
And discover yourself.
Absolutely.
Discover yourself.
Truly, the book Game Changer will get you talking, will get you and your partner on the right track. So take the time to know the partner. Who are you and what do you want? Take time to figure that out. Thanks for
Okay.
having us.
Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed it.